I wanted to talk about a subject that's going to get a little bit controversial, and we're going to have different views, and that's okay. And what I want to talk about is this bug out. I believe, especially after watching people's reactions in this pandemic that we're starting to come out of, it didn't really match what they were thinking in perspective of, I'm going to go bug out, okay? Especially now when they're being quarantined in their home. How do I bug out when I'm now being quarantined in my house, and now certain interstates and back roads are being shut down, or certain states are shutting borders down? Makes it a little difficult to get from Florida to Georgia when everything's shut down, okay? And in some regions of the country, they've had, as an example, Army National Guard and law enforcement doing just that for containment, okay? So unless you knew a week earlier and loaded everything up in your car to get to your off-grid, off-site location, chances are you have this off-grid, off-site location that you never got to, or that you're not able to get to. And that's what we're really going to kind of talk about next. First, let's just break down your location. If you're in a city and you think, oh, I'm going to go up into the mountains, well, chances are everybody else has thought that, and all you're going to do is show up to a bunch of people there. Now, if you have a true off-site location, then it's generally probably going to be more than 30 miles away from the city to get to. And you have to obviously make sure it's stocked up on all those things that we're kind of talking about. I need food, I need water, I need gas, I need solar, I need baby diapers, I need formula, I need clothing for my children. So if I have an older child, I'll pre-buy for that child out and extend shoes, jackets, whatever it is, and the rest of his clothes or her clothes get hand-me-down to the other kids. Is it defendable, and can you protect it? And that also means you're standing watch 24 hours a day. So the best thing to hope for is that just nobody can find you. But remember, if you're now burning wood, right, people can smell it, people can see smoke. So now you're making your location a little bit more known, especially if you were going to use fire to provide warmth because you're in a much cooler climate, okay? So this off-grid, off-site location, one of the issues that we have with it is, one, can we get there? Then two, can we survive and sustain there? Do you have communications to know when to come back out of there? Because if you don't, you could come back at a really horrible time, and that's not good either. Now, this is all under the guise that you have this awesome location. Because if you're just thinking you're going to be living in a tent, with your jet boil, man, like, good luck on that one. Okay. I mean, whatever you bring with you is all you have. You don't have any renewable sources. I mean, all these things are really, really important when we're talking about this off-grid, off-location site, food, shelter, all the necessities that we're kind of talking about. Medical, medications. Do you have that? Right? That means you have to get a doctor who doesn't mind saying, hey, here's a prescription, knowing that you're basically going to take that Baja bag, that waterproof Baja bag full of medical stuff, and pre-stage that wherever it is that you're going to be. Now what you're looking at is, I'm going to take my family, let's just say you didn't get there ahead of time, you're now going to take your family from what could be a hardened position, and put them out in the open with minimal provisions, because you can only fit so much stuff. I get it. You got the lifted Ford F-250. You got the snorkel on it, the big, Fab Tech bumper, and the winch, right? And you've got your sub gun, because you're also considering, maybe I'm on a dirt bike running railroad tracks, because nobody will think of that while wearing nods. That'll get me to my location. You have all this other things that kind of glorify. We have magazines, and we have all these components, which some are really cool. But there's this thought process that I'm going to get in my jacked up truck, hit my lockers, man. And while everybody's locked up on the interstate like they were in Atlanta a few years back, because that was just a natural disaster winter storm that came through and gridlocked everybody, you're going to be the guy running down the grass lane going, this is why I paid for all this shit, because you people suck and you're all stuck, until you hit that first division of the median where it's all barricaded up because it's a bridge or some type of crossing. You're like, shit. Right? The point being is, your family's out in the open. I get it. We all think I'm Will Smith, I am Legend. None of us think we're the stupid ass zombies that got bit during that process. We're just a guy running around in our Mustang or our now Gladiator with a supercharger in it and 37s. Like, that's why I bought it. to get my ass out of here. The reality is you're putting your family out in the open, which means you're increasing risk on them. Bugging out, I think, is a really bad idea. We could spend our time and our resources bugging in. The reason why, and we start to think about this bug out, is I think somewhere along the line it got a little twisted. When I was in the military, I didn't have a home when I was traveling overseas. I was in Iquitos, Peru. I was in Lima, Peru. I was in Bogota. I was in Cartagena, Colombia. I was in Albania, numerous places in Albania, Sazan, Vlora, the capital. I was in the Republic of Georgia. I was in Tbilisi. I was in Poti. I was in Azerbaijan. I was in Sugunde, Africa, Ghana, Africa. I was in Trinidad and Tobago. I was all over the place, and it was only 2 or 3 of us. And we did not have a home. We were not on military bases. So we had what we refer to as go bags. The go bag somewhere along the line is, we look at it and you can say, well, it's a bug out bag or it's a go bag. I looked at it as a go bag because I wouldn't be going anywhere if I had a hardened military fucking base to be on, or something that was defendable, or something that I could pre-stage everything that I needed right there. So my go bag was to get me to another location to either get more provisions after that and leave there. So even as a civilian, if I were to travel overseas, I need a go bag because there could be civil unrest, there could be mobs, there could be things against U.S. personnel. And in a moment's notice, because I have no home and no place to be because I'm living in and out of hotels, I need to pack my crap up and haul ass. That to me was a go bag. My go bag that I have right now is to get back home where I'm bugging in. And the reason why my home is a good location is because, well, I'm up in the middle of frickin' not nowhere, but there's 10 families up here on this mountain. There's probably 60 people on the other side. So I have taken the numbers that I would normally run into in a city environment, and I've delineated those numbers down. There's something that is, it's easier for me to defend and protect against those numbers than to have thousands upon thousands of people. Now, when I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, I think at that time I had about 30,000 in 5.56 and, thousands in 9mm and 45. I think I had 15,000 in match grade 308 ammo. And that wasn't going to last me a week when everybody turned into animals. And the thing about a good example of that was during Katrina, when you saw that within 48 hours, even though they knew help was coming, a lot of those people turned into animals. There are good people, there are bad people, there are bad people in and out of the system that law enforcement goes after, and there are gray people. And the gray people are good because there's law. And when law goes away, they turn into animals because they can. Because the only thing keeping them under check is law and law enforcement, which means that when there's no more law, like there are in a lot of other third world countries, there's lawlessness, then it's the Wild West. So living in Jacksonville, Florida, for me, with the numbers that were there, I was going to be out of ammo in the first week. And then not only that, but it was probably going to be some 22 or 32 ACP that freaking gets infected because I got shot, and now I have other issues to now contend with. If not, I'm dead. So my whole goal was I need to remove myself from that environment. Now, here's the thing. You're going to be in one or two categories. Either you want to live out in places like this, but you can't because you have medical needs, family needs, whatever it is, and you're going to have to stay put right where you're at. Okay? If you can, you move out to these and you kind of at least take the numbers down. Doesn't mean that people around here aren't going to turn into animals at some point, but I can just tell you I can better deal with the numbers right now. And what we're looking at in regards to a situation that are unfolding or happening in city environments is if you cannot leave that environment, then fortify that, okay? Get your food, get your water, get all the supplies you need. Fortify that as best as possible. But putting your family out in the open is probably not a smart move to do. These environments, I have 9 weeks of food. That's in the freezers. I have 1,300 days worth of dry food. So remember, this time we got off easy. We have electricity. You need a plan for the next one as, what if I don't have electricity? How am I going to fare in this? How am I going to survive if we don't have electricity? That's what I need to do. prepare. My go bag is to get my ass back home, to get to my castle.